Setting up a new journal is a good time to evaluate how you're going with working towards your goals and intentions. With mid-year approaching, and for some of you this means one academic year finishing and the next coming up, doing a mid-year review of how things are tracking can be really valuable in making sure that you're making the most of the rest of the year. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing as part of my mid-year review in my journal. Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin and welcome back for my mid-year review video. A disclaimer before we start, I'm not going to be filling in my mid-year review for you on camera, mostly because it's going to take a lot of thinking, which will probably take quite a while, and also because some of it's likely going to be a little bit personal, and I want to be able to be as honest with myself as possible without worrying about the kind of information I'm sharing on the internet. What I am going to do though is take you guys through the pages and prompts I'm using to do my mid-year review, which I'm going to then use to help me set my goals and intentions for the second half of 2019. As usual, any of the equipment I'm using in the setup for these layouts is in the description box below. The first part of my mid-year review are the daily journaling prompts that I'm using on my daily log pages. Each day after I finish writing up the tasks and events for the day, I draw out a line underneath those and then use the rest of the space to do my daily doodle, and then also some reflective journaling. When I was looking around for prompt lists for these, I couldn't really find one I liked, so every few days I've been using Google searches of self-reflection questions to help me decide on what to talk about. To decide on which prompt I use, I first judge it on 1, how much space I have at the end of the day after writing down my tasks and events. And 2, I choose prompts that I think will best help me identify where I want to be come the end of 2019. Some of the prompts I've used so far are, what am I thankful for at this moment? What makes me happy? What are my biggest accomplishments so far this year? What are my worst habits? What hasn't changed since January 1st? As you can see, I'm a little bit behind in doing this reflecting, but doing this little bit of reflection each day has already started to help. The second part of my mid-year review are the pages in the back of my journal. These have been set up using a couple of different sources of inspiration, but one in particular is the Power Sheets by Cultivate What Matters. The first page I have here is just a general brainstorm of what I'd like to work on or accomplish by the end of the year. This is just supposed to be really rough thoughts and not well-formed goals. Really just getting my ideas out onto the paper so then I can select the ones I want to work on in particular. One thing that I do know that I want to put here is getting my full license, so I'm going to put that one down now. This second page is just a general snapshot of me and who I am at this point in time. It's a place to write down what is important to me and what I value, and any other personal details that come to mind. I think this one will be a nice page to reflect on come the end of the year, so that I can see what has changed and what has stayed the same. I did a similar but much more messy one of these at the start of the year to outline the things that I valued, and then some of the thoughts I was having about the entire of 2019. So getting to compare that one from January to this one from June, to the one that I'm likely going to do at the end of the year, will help me see which areas I've consistently decided are important to me, and the ones that I've then actually made an effort to work on. The next page, which you have likely seen before, is a level 10 life. On this one, I'm going to be giving each of these 8 areas of my life a score out of 10, to say how happy I am with how those sections are going. This one is completely subjective, so what I rate for a 1 or a 5 or a 10 might be completely different to how other people would rate these. I know I'm a pretty harsh marker, so when it comes to doing things like this, usually a lot of the numbers I'm giving are pretty low. This is another one that I messily set up at the start of the year as well, so I'm going to be able to make a comparison to that one too. Once I've done my ratings, I also have a space down the bottom to state which 3 of these categories I most want to work on in the later half of the year. Just to show you how I'm filling this one in, one of the categories I know I do have a rating for would be health, which I'm going to rate as a 2 out of 10. I haven't been treating my physical or mental health very well this year, so that's probably something I'm going to want to work on. This next page I've titled as Changes, but it's essentially just a place to consider the things about myself I want to see change come the end of the year. As part of that, I'll not only be writing down the things I want to change, but also some ideas on how to achieve that. For instance, I know that I want to start keeping my workspace in a better state, so one of the ways I'm going to achieve this is by dedicating a little bit of time each day to putting away my supplies that have accumulated on my desk throughout the evening. When writing this one up, I was pretty specific with myself about the idea that it's things that I want to change about me, not change in general. Because really the only things that are within my control are the things that I do. The last page I have for my mid-year review is this On My Mind page. This one is different to the brainstorm from before, because the brainstorm page was intended for goal ideas, while this one is just for things that I know are coming up in the second half of the year, and general thoughts that I don't want to forget. This one is a place for things like habits I want to work on, unresolved or in-progress tasks, things that are still challenging to me that I might need to take a closer look at, and really just anything else that comes to mind as I work through my review pages. Using all of these pages together, so my daily prompts from before and then these back of journal pages, I'll then be able to outline my goals and action steps for the rest of the year. I don't have space set aside for that in this journal, as those are going to be in my next one, which I'm going to be talking more about planning the setup of that one next week. I am pretty eager to get started on filling these out and setting my intentions for July onwards. Of course, what I've shown you guys here is just the way I'm reviewing my progress. And I'd really love to know if you guys are doing a mid-year review as well. And if so, how are you going about it? Let us know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and if you liked today's video, go check out another one. Until next time, bye!